The name of my project is Advocating for Air Conditioning. This project was made in Plainfield High School in a law and politics class by Mr. Shambino. My name is Wendy Kelifak. I am a rising senior at Plainfield High School. And a fun fact about me, I was born and raised in Cameroon, Africa, and came to the U.S. when I was 6. So the goal for this project is not only to advocate for air conditioning in the state level, but nationwide and everywhere in the United States. We wanted to make sure it's a law passed by the U.S. to make sure every classroom in America has air conditioning. So the research question was, what are students' view on the lack of air conditioning and how it affects their academic achievements? So keeping that in mind, we asked out some questions to our students that would help us answer our research question. Some of the questions consisted of, do you have a classroom that does not have air conditioning? Are you discouraged to do your work when in a hot classroom? Or do you experience frustration when you're in a hot classroom? And do you feel like your peers feel the same way? So we handed out a survey to our Plainfield High School students, ranging from grades 9 to 12, in English and Spanish, making sure that everybody knew what the questions were asking them. And it was handed out to 1,000 of our students. So 80% of our students answered the same way, saying that there was a connection between the lack of air conditioning and how it affected their academic achievements. If you look at the pie chart, you see that most of it is blue. Blue means yes. So most of the students answered yes, saying that there was a hard time focusing in school and classes because of how hot it was. And so we can say that there is a connection, like I said, between how hot it is in classroom and how they perform in class and their academics. This is one of the questions that we asked them, and this is their personal views and their personal saying and emotions. If you look to the top left, it says, it is impossible to concentrate in class when it feels like a sauna. The lack of air conditioning is a major distraction. And if you look below, another student said, the school should prioritize our learning environment. Without proper cooling, it feels like they're neglecting our education. So we can see that students are feeling very strong about the lack of air conditioning and the environment in classrooms and how it makes them feel like they're being neglected, like one student said, how they're not prioritizing their learning environment and how it affects them. So the result of our survey did, prove the fact that there is a connection between the lack of air conditioning and how it affects students in classrooms or in school in general, and how it needs to be solved and it needs to be a major problem that needs to be fixed. So we were wondering if Plainfield High School students and staff were the only ones having this difficulty. So we reached out to the Union County School around us, and it turns out we are not the only one. Some schools have no air conditioning whatsoever in their classrooms at all, not even 1 or 2 of the classrooms. So we see that this is not just a problem that we are facing, but we're facing worldwide. So the action step that we took into moving our project further was first asking district officials what the cost would be to get air conditioning in every classroom. We had a meeting with the director of Building and Grounds and asked him some few questions about how, what steps are being taken to make sure students are comfortable in their classrooms. We also wrote letters to district officials like the superintendent, the vice principals, the principals of the schools. We asked them what's happening, hey, our students are complaining about this and this, what steps are being taken. We are in the process for advocating for air conditioning, like I said, in a state level. And in the next clip, you're gonna hear a video of our director of Building Grounds and an interview we had with him.
We've gotten $5.5 million so far this year in funding to upgrade our univents. So what we're going to do, the design that we're working with the engineer and the architectural firm is it will have heating and cooling in the classrooms. So that'll be a game changer across the district. So over the next 5 years, that'll be a part of the process. So $5.5 million is a start. And the first 2 schools will, surprisingly enough, will be the 2 middle schools, Maxon and Hubbard, will be the first 2.